One night just before Christmas, Kate and Brian were put to bed by their mother. But they couldn't sleep, and they were upright in bed.
Brian, are you sleeping?
No, I can't sleep, Kate. Would you also want to see Santa Claus? Huh. Kate, do you hear that?
They both held their breath and heard soft knocking on the window. And when they looked, they saw a jolly Christmas elf sitting by the window.
Did I hear you correctly? You want to see Santa Claus? Well, you're in luck because I am one of his elves and I am going to Santa Claus Land. If you want, I can take you with me.
Brian and Kate jumped out of bed and yelled,
Yes, show us the way, show us the way.
The elf took something soft and dark and covered Brian's eyes. Then he took something soft and dark and put it over Kate's eyes.
How many fingers do you see?
Brian and Kate had no idea because they couldn't see a thing.
Very well. We're ready for departure.
He took Brian's hand with one hand and Kate's hand with the other, and they flew out the window. They flew for a while until the elf started spinning so much that they got dizzy. The children had no idea where they were going, and after a while they stopped.
We have arrived.
The elf removed the blindfolds from their eyes, and what they saw was a giant, thick gate. The elf knocked on the door, and the gate opened. Together they walked in, just like that, into the garden of Santa. It was a remarkable garden. There were many rows of Christmas trees, all shining with decorations, and instead of flowers, there grew toys in the garden. Kate immediately ran to the dolls.
Let's see if one is ripe.
Ripe?
Yes, of course. When the doll is ripe, she will close her eyes in your arms. Let's try this one.
The elf put a doll in her arms, and the doll closed its eyes halfway.
No, this one isn't ripe yet.
Try this one.
He put the doll in Kate's arms, and the doll directly closed its eyes.
We'll take it.
The elf put the doll in a big bag he was carrying with him. They walked further and saw baby dolls.
These are ripe when they start crying.
He softly pinched the doll, and it made a funny squeaking sound.
Not ripe yet.
The elf put the doll back. He tried a few more and took quite a few. Some cried, others said, Mommy, Daddy, and others danced when they were wound up.
Oh, look, Kate.
Kate ran to Brian and saw drum sets in all colors of the rainbow.
Can we take a couple of these?
Of course, but let's see if they're ripe.
He took a small red drum and gave it a clap with the stick. The drum made a weird noise that made them all laugh. So they put it back. The Christmas elf chose a big brown drum and hit it and made a mighty sound. So they took it. When they plucked all the drum sets, they walked toward the horns. Those were the best. Next, they walked to the wind-up toys. There were trains, cars, dancing dolls, climbing monkeys, hopping birds, swaying ducks, and other kinds of toys that you could think of. The kids stayed there for a long time until Kate said,
Where is Santa Claus? We want to meet him.
Of course. Come along.
And he led the children over a long, winding road to the edge of a garden and pointed to a hill in the distance.
Do you see that big white house? That's where he lives.
The kids stared at the house. It was so white it seemed to shine.
Walk past here and then up the hill towards the house of Santa.
Kate stared into a deep, black abyss between the garden and the hill. There was a plank to cross it.
Be careful and don't look down. If you do, I'm afraid you won't see Santa tonight.
Brian took his sister's hand, and they started to walk over the plank. They were almost halfway when Brian looked down.
Oh!
and together they fell down and crashed. Suddenly they were upright in their beds and rubbing their eyes. They were home. Mother opened the door and said,
"Are you awake, kids?"
They told their mother everything that morning. And Mother, she smiled.